the Russian whistleblower risking it all to expose the scale of an Arctic oil spill catastrophe.
Here's a summary of the article.
The owner of the plant, the Nornickel metals giant, says the spill was quickly contained, and the damage limited. Ryabinin has sacrificed his job and his family's future in Norilsk in an attempt to lift the lid on what environmentalists have called the worst ecological catastrophe in the polar Arctic. In an email, Nornickel told CNN that the cleanup of the spill was ongoing, and that the company was guided by the official data of Rosprirodnadze and the Ministry of Emergency Situations, as well as satellite imagery that shows the borders of the fuel spread. They only caught the very tail of this spill and no one even mentioned what's under the film. State TV kept showing the spill saying there is allegedly nothing under it and it's just on the surface, Kavanosian told CNN. And under this layer, hydrocarbons dissolve and infiltrate all life, fish, roe, mud, everything. The spill has even drawn in President Vladimir Putin, who chaired a televised meeting with the head of Nornickel, Vladimir Potinin, in early June. Beyond the rare public spotlight on an environmental issue in Russia, the Nornickel spill has provided an even rarer example of dissent and protest winning out in Russia. The company disputed the assessment, saying the agency had based its calculations on principles that have distorted the results and need to be adjusted. It also added that it remains committed to its obligation to eliminate the consequences of the spill at their own expense.
This post received a score of 17,000, with an upvote ratio of 97%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Whistleblowers should get the highest awards and protection levels.
And public servants should face the harshest penalties and highest prosecution rates when they betray the public trust by abusing their position of power.
Absolutely. But then they would just never be caught. Because that's what happens when you let humans have power unchecked. No matter where you're from or what position. Someone is going to be fucking up. If you never investigate, nothing is ever wrong.
You just need to change the reward dynamic. Make a rule anyone reporting corruption gets something like 10% of the total corruption value. Cost per year times number of years it's been going on. Anyone can participate. That of course presumes an honest DOJ, which we no longer have.
Unfortunately you're right. We're so fucked up you would have to dangle some kind of financial incentive in front of us to get us to just do the right thing. Pretty sad state of affairs we're in if you ask me. But you didn't, so I'll show myself to the pub now.
Greater than just do the right thing. Well, just doing the right thing here often means ruining your life for nothing. I think that's quite a lot to ask for.
If it's the spill I'm remembering, it isn't oil. It's processed fuel, which is much, much worse.
Could you explain why this is worse?
I'm not really qualified to answer, but as far as I know, the process of going from crude oil to refined oil has phases where the oil has additives mixed into it. The additives I'm aware of are some really bad shit. Stuff you wouldn't want on you, let alone be inside you.
Benzene. What has the most benzene concentration on the planet? Oil tar. What is oil tar the main ingredient in? Roads. Thanks, government.
Good thing I don't eat roads.
Right, just the food that grows from the soil that leaches the roads.
Norilsk is hell on earth.
But a calmer haven on our urban hell.
From the article, we were a few kilometers from the Siberian city of Norilsk, where 6 weeks ago a huge fuel tank at a power plant ruptured, spilling thousands of tons of diesel into the river. Well, their drinking water is surely fucked for the foreseeable future.
Anywhere high north, especially if they have a military presence, is typically really bad. I know parts of NFLD, Labrador which have meters and meters of free product sitting on the water table, mainly jet fuel but also other trash the military spilled. Sadly, it wasn't just spilled, it was disposed of that way. During the first Cold War year, the military used to destroy excess barrels of fuel after Arctic exercises. There's a reason a report was once issued about the toxicity of Inuit breast milk. The stuff the oil industry itself did back in the late 60s wasn't much better.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.